What's up, guys? Jordan here from Show Me Vegas. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Las Vegas Strip. Hey, I want to tell you something. You've been lied to about what's going on in Las Vegas right now. Visitation to Las Vegas is definitely slow right now. There's no denying that fact. But people high and low are trying to tell you that Vegas is either dead or it's in the process of dying. Social media influencers, including some YouTubers, have piled on that notion in search of clicks, and suddenly it has become all the rage to hate on Las Vegas right now. On the other hand, you have local tourism officials and hotel executives telling you it's not that bad. They paint a different picture. They say, yes, business is sluggish, but the revenue is still okay, and people will come back. It's only a matter of time. One way or another, somebody is lying to you. So what's the real truth? That's what we're gonna get into in this video. Stick around. It might get messy.
Tourism in Las Vegas is in a big slump this summer.
Based on recent visitor numbers, some people are wondering if that economic engine has stopped firing on all cylinders.
Yeah. Tourism is down. Vegas saw a 12% decline in travelers.
The fix, according to some, is simple. Stop nickel and diming folks.
The hotel properties need to pivot.
What do you have to say to people who are saying that Vegas is dead?
I don't see it.
All right, first things first, let's dispel a couple of notions and focus only on hard facts. Number one, no, I'm not some sort of mouthpiece for the gaming industry in Nevada. I do not make a living doing this. I'm simply a tourist who makes YouTube videos and pays his own way doing it. I don't take handouts from casinos. I pay for all my hotel rooms. I pay for all my meals. I pay for all my entertainment. I want you to get an objective review. Secondly, let's forget about all those pictures of empty sidewalks and empty casinos you've seen in Las Vegas, because it's really easy for somebody to take a picture at 7 a.m. on a Tuesday and pretend like it was Saturday afternoon. I'm not saying they're all fake, but I am saying a lot of them are completely out of context. All right, that out of the way, let's focus on the hard facts. So what are the hard facts? Well, the statistics are clear. Visitation to Las Vegas is down, but it's probably not down as much as you've been led to believe. In July 2025, just fewer than 3.1 million people visited Las Vegas, which was a 12% decrease over the 3.5 million people who visited in July of 2024. That marks the second consecutive month that visitation was more than 10% behind last year, and August is almost sure to be the same. The summer has definitely been slow. Now pay no attention to the headlines that state things like visitation fell for the 5th straight month, because those misrepresent the numbers. A headline that reads visitation has fallen 6 consecutive months more or less implies there have been fewer people each month for 6 consecutive months, and that's just not the case. The numbers simply lag that same month last year. So a more accurate headline would read, visitation lags 2024 numbers for a 6th consecutive month. That said, let's talk about visitation to Las Vegas year to date. Through July, 22.6 million people have visited Las Vegas, which represents an 8% decrease over the first 7 months of 2024. That's very much a significant decrease, but does it match up to the hype? I mean, after all, in the past 2 or 3 months, we've been treated to a full-out social media blitz that leads us to believe that nobody is coming, and Vegas is dead. You know, I guess in trying to quantify whether or not Las Vegas is dead, I guess we need to know exactly what dead means. To me, dead is 2020. Dead is the reopening after COVID and most of 2021 when these places were at limited occupancy and people just didn't want to get out. 3.1 million people visited Las Vegas in July, and while that's down, it's not dead. It's called slow. Keep in mind the numbers you see reported in the media are compared to 2024 numbers, which is a high bar considering 2024 was the 6th best year on record for Las Vegas visitation. Keep also in mind that even in a down month, 79.5% of hotel rooms on the Strip were occupied in July. On the weekends, that number still exceeds 90%. Those are numbers that almost any other city in the country would beg for. After all, on a regular basis, Las Vegas leads the country in hotel occupancy. So keep in mind, when somebody says Las Vegas is dead, at best it's an exaggeration, at worst it's sensationalism designed to get clicks, and in reality it's probably an unfair comparison to Las Vegas at its best. Vegas is by no means dead, it's merely slower than usual. So the numbers prove it. Visitation is significantly down right now in Las Vegas, and the big question is why? Some people point to the fact that you can gamble nearly anywhere in the United States these days, often with much better odds, and that people are just going elsewhere to gamble. But if that were true, you would expect gaming revenue to be suffering in Nevada right now. So is it?
All right, stop me if you've heard somebody say something like this. So what if people are going to Vegas? Nobody's gambling and nobody's spending any money. So are they right? Well, no, that actually couldn't be much further from the truth. Is gambling revenue down in Las Vegas? Absolutely not. Gaming revenue is actually up. Statewide gaming revenue in July 2025 was up nearly 4% over July 2024. On the Las Vegas Strip specifically, the gain is even more at 5.6%. That's actually the second straight month of increase. It's not just an anomaly either, it's been holding strong all year. Year to date, January through July, statewide gaming revenue is up just less than 1%, and for the Strip, it's up 0.16%. In other words, with 8% fewer visitors, the city is actually bringing in more gambling revenue than last year. The other fallacy being put out there is that nobody is spending any money. Luckily for us, the big players on the Las Vegas Strip are publicly traded companies that release their quarterly financials publicly. Year to date, in the second quarter, Wynn Las Vegas total revenue was up $10 million, or 1.5% year over year. Caesars Entertainment total revenue was down just 2.8%, and MGM Resorts saw a decrease of 4%. In other words, through at least the second quarter of 2025, the people that are coming to Las Vegas are actually spending more than they did last year, to the point where there still hasn't been any significant change at all.
After I said that earlier about out-of-context pictures and videos, how about I give you one in context? I'm in front of the Bellagio fountains right now, and it is definitely slow. Here's the context. It's Thursday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The fountains aren't going right now, and it's about 100 degrees outside. It would typically be slow out here on this sidewalk in those same circumstances. Would it be this slow? Probably not. All right, gaming revenue is essentially flat this year after a long period of strong growth, so it's clearly not that people are just finding other places to gamble. That leaves us with two other distinct possibilities, one being economic and the other being political. It's the economic factor that's getting far more press right now. You can't go anywhere online without seeing complaints about pricing in Las Vegas. Yes, prices for many things in Vegas are completely out of control. Right behind me is the lounge at Harrah's. This is their center bar, and this is a most decidedly mid-scale property. Cocktails back there average about $25, which is outrageous. But it's not even just the cost, it's the value, or lack thereof, that people are getting for their money in Las Vegas in 2025.
Is pricing to blame? I mean, after all, prices in Las Vegas have been high for a very long time now, and that hasn't kept people away yet. But consumer sentiment has turned on Las Vegas in 2025 like a landslide. People are suddenly incensed over things that have been there for years. Things like resort fees and parking charges, $22 cocktails, $20 service charges added to your room service bill. Vegas has been pushing the pricing envelope for years, and it seems to have finally come to a head. Las Vegas has been trending away from a budget-friendly destination for the better part of 2 decades now. What used to be seen as a place where anyone could go and live like a king for a few days is now becoming viewed as a playground for the rich. That's not to say there's not still value in Las Vegas, because after all, it is still one of, if not the only place in the United States where you can commonly stay in a 4-star hotel for $150 or even a 5-star hotel for less than $300. Try doing that in New York or Boston or any other number of big cities in the US. Unfortunately, that message has gotten lost with all the nickel and diming. Throw into the mix the fact that while the US isn't technically in a recession, travel experts have said that while Americans aren't taking fewer trips, they do seem to be scaling back on the length of their getaways, as well as staying closer to home. In any time of economic uncertainty, people understandably cut back on luxuries first. And make no mistake about it, a Las Vegas vacation is very much a luxury, not a need.
So yes, high prices are a big part of this Las Vegas slump, but there are also political factors at play. Listen, it's no secret that international travel is down in the United States right now. And regardless of what side of the political aisle you're on, you have to acknowledge that international diplomacy on the part of the United States is playing a role. International travel is down to Las Vegas as well, but just how much of a dent is that putting in the Las Vegas economy? It's probably not nearly as much as you would expect. Let's take a look at the numbers.
First, we need to take a look at how many foreign travelers visit Las Vegas on an annual basis. The Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority puts out an annual report on Las Vegas visitation, and in 2024, international travelers totaled just more than 5 million, which is about 12% of the whole. So how much has international travel to Las Vegas declined in 2025? The statistics from Harry Reid Airport give us a little bit of insight, although it is a little bit difficult to quantify because not all foreign travelers arrive to Las Vegas on an international flight. The airport statistics, though, are pretty clear. International arrivals to Las Vegas are down just 3.8%. Like I said, that's probably not a completely accurate picture, and the LVCVA estimates that international travel is down about the same amount as domestic travel. Again, roughly 8 to 12%. Considering international visitors only account for about 12% of overall visitors to Las Vegas, the much bigger problem here is that Americans aren't traveling to Vegas in the same numbers they were last year.
But regardless of why Las Vegas is slumping, up until recently, hotel executives around town have seemed foolishly optimistic about the prospects for the future. They admit that the summer has been slow, but they believe fall and winter will pick back up. If it doesn't, how quickly will they act to reduce prices to try to draw people back to Las Vegas? The answer might already be materializing.
Local officials and hotel execs have put on a brave face despite the numbers. They've been adamant that while things aren't great, they believe this to be a temporary downturn caused primarily by factors outside their control. At least that's what most of them have been saying. On the other hand, they've suddenly been rolling out offers and deals designed to bring more people back to Vegas. Earlier this summer, both Sahara and Resorts World put a temporary moratorium on their resort fees. Downtown, both Circa and the Plaza brought back popular summer packages that they first ran in 2024. Now Caesars Entertainment has created a package at 3 of its lower-end properties offering 2 nights and $200 resort credit for just $300 all in. Clearly, they're more concerned than they're letting on. Fall is generally when Vegas begins to pick back up after the searing heat of summer. And with football, hockey, and F1 all returning to the Valley, things should improve somewhat. But just how much remains to be seen. Odds are visitation will continue to lag behind last year's numbers for at least the remainder of the year.
So those are the facts. Las Vegas is slumping right now. There's no denying it. But what does all this mean for the future of Las Vegas? Is Las Vegas actually going to die? My opinion? Come on. Get real. Las Vegas is the poster child for keeping up with the times. It's the city that is perpetually reinventing itself, and it is the city that always bounces back. There is way too much money invested in this desert right here for the people who invested it to just let it die. Las Vegas will bounce back. It will reinvent itself once again, and Las Vegas will be back in the future. Maybe not this year, maybe not even next year, but it will be back. I would bet on that. Hey, thanks for watching this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And while you're down there, turn on that notification bell so you get notified anytime we release new content on the channel. My next video starts here in about an hour when I check into my next hotel. So like I said, stay tuned. I'll see you in that next video because there's always more for us to show you on Show Me Vegas. Bye, guys.